In this video, I replaced the fuel lines on a Ryobi 2-cycle gas string trimmer on 2 different tanks. In the end, I still needed to replace the carburetor to get the unit running, and I have links to the videos on how to do that in the description and comments. I hope this video helps you out with your fix. You're watching DIYNate. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to tell me about your project in the comments. Alright folks, we are working on a Ryobi string trimmer. This is a RY252 or 253 series. I work on these a lot, and these are fairly simple to fix. Usually the issue is a carburetor or fuel lines, and those are pretty easy to diagnose. At the same time, I haven't tried it at all. This will be my first test on it. We'll take the carb cover off. We'll make sure that the air filter is intact there. Things look fine on this. Fuel lines are a bit hard. We'll put some fresh gas in here. Put some 2-cycle 50-to-1 mix in. We can go about half full on it. We're going to go ahead and use our primer bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and prime it a few times. I do notice the primer bulb sticks a little bit and not quite getting full suction. That could be a primer bulb issue, or it could actually be something with the fuel lines. Carburetor might be fine, so we might start out with changing out the fuel tank. We're going to crank him anyway, even though I'm not getting gas in here. I know it's not going to fire if it's got no gas in the bubble. So we'll set to full choke, give it some cranks. I feel like my issue is probably in my gas tank, so we're going to go ahead and replace this gas tank. And I have another one here that's got some really bad fuel lines. So as part of this video, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this old fuel tank, we're going to remove these gas lines, and we're going to put in a fuel filter, and we're going to do that process. We'll see if that gets us working. The idea behind this is teaching you how to do a fuel line replacement. So hopefully this helps you out. And of course I could use a funnel if I was trying to be a little more accurate. There we go. Okay, so my gas is out of this. Fuel lines are brittle on this guy, and what you'll see too when you're working with these, the furthest hole here is going to have your filter on it, and that's the one that should go further down to the bottom. This long one will be on this side, and this other one will be over here. So a lot of times these carb kits will have the specific style you need. Sometimes when you order a fresh carb kit, the fuel lines will be included. This is a Ryobi fuel line kit. It also has a carburetor and some other stuff. And so they'll put these fuel lines in here for you, ready to go. So I've got this bundle of tubing here that I can use, and it should give me exactly what I need. But there's also a tool that comes in the kits a lot of times that can be very helpful for this. You can do it without it. I would prefer to always use one of these puller tools that helps you pull the line through. Once you get going, you'll run this through and pull it out through the hole. So we'll just start with this fuel line I've got here. A good pair of needle nose pliers can be really helpful in this. This Tygon tubing or something like it, it's got a lot of kink in it. And we're going to put a fresh fuel filter on here too. So to start with, we're going to pull these old lines out. You could clip them off and then work with them, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll clip them, this one especially because it's longer, and then I'll push them in and then pull them out. I'll also remove the gas cap just by pulling on that piece. As you can see, if I were to try and pull on this guy right here, that fuel line will come out a bit. So I've got him all the way up to the top. So now I'll use some clippers here. Just take him, snip them off. You can use scissors or whatever. Cut that little Tygon line there, and we're going to push this guy back in. There we go. So that guy's ready to come out. We'll do the same thing for this one. This one will probably come all the way out the return line because it doesn't have anything on the end. So we've got the 2 fuel lines removed. Put those in the trash. There goes our fuel filter, and we'll trash the rest of this stuff. We get a fresh fuel filter ready to go. This little carb kit contains several fuel filters, but sometimes these can be pretty tedious to get through the fairly small hole. Next, go ahead and put the fuel filter on here so it's ready to go. So I'm going to take my fuel filter and my little metal ring here. I'm going to do this outside so I'm not messing with it when I'm in the tube. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy on. You'll have to work him a little bit, as you can see right here. I'm going to push that fuel line on there. Sometimes it can be really helpful to use needle nose pliers for this part. So I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, kind of push it. It can take some time to work it in there as well. It's kind of one of the more tedious parts of this process. I'll try and go by hand. You're trying to go across that groove right there. One other trick you can use is you can twist them counterclockwise or clockwise to kind of screw them in. And you've got them on there pretty good like so. In this case, I'm going to make sure I pull this little metal coupler down, and that will hold things in place so it won't try to get off anymore. So now I'm going to try and get this whole thing down and just pull them down in there. So now my fuel filter is good to go. It's on there and the spring is holding it in place. So once we've got our fuel filter in place, we're going to actually take the whole line here. We're going to grab some scissors. We're going to cut a very tapered point. Go as sharp as a tapered point as you want at an angle so that you've got a very thin pointy area. You can go even more than that. So once you've got that, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a punch. A lot of times I'll use a nail, but I'm taking this and I'm putting this punch through the cut diagonal, and I'm going to create a hole for me to fish my metal wire through. And so I'm going to set this down, and I want to make sure I give myself plenty of room so it doesn't pop off. Sometimes these things will pop the first time you try it. Once I've got that, you can see what's going to happen. We'll take this metal puller and we're going to run it through that Tygon tubing here. So once you've got that hole in there, you can pretty much just take that puller and it's going to pull through. And this guy goes through the first hole. We'll go through the first hole and then he'll come out the other side. Once we've got him out, now I can pull this whole unit through. Again, you could use some WD-40 or some silicone lube if you're worried it's too tight, because it will be tight when you're trying to pull it through. Now we got our hole in place. We're going to just try and thread them through. Sometimes you might just have to kind of force them through there, like I did right there. Okay, so once you've got your metal in position, now you're going to take it nice and slow. This is where it can jump off the track for you, so you want to make sure you pull your metal through first. And as you get that metal coming through that hole, right here I got him, and I'm going to try and start to pull, but I'm going to be real careful. So I start to pull him through. I don't need to pull too much. I'm trying to pull hard enough to get him through. You can use this little ring as well. You just want to be careful not to pull too hard, because it will tear through that rubber before you'll ever get him out. And that can be really frustrating the first couple times you do it. So I'm going to try and get him just a little bit. This is where the WD-40 or something could be a big help. If you can get him out where your pliers can get him, that's a big help as well. I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit with my pliers. Let's see if I can... There we go. Okay, so you see how it comes out just like that. We're going to leave this hooked in, and we're going to go ahead and figure out about how much we want. As you can see, I've still got plenty of line here, so I'm going to go ahead and go a lot more. Pull a little bit more, and that's probably about right. Got about that much, so it'll sit nicely in there. Now I'll drop my fuel filter in and slide it over to the side if I can. It's got a lot of bending in him, and he'll do his own thing down there, and that's fine, because we'll probably end up pushing him around a little bit. Okay, once you got your fuel line in there, you're going to want to give yourself a little bit of slack. I like to give myself enough slack to know where the carburetor is going to be, and so I'm going to clip off about right here. It gives me a little bit of room too if I need to pull the fuel filter down a little bit. And now that I've already made this hole, this time I can kind of use a similar process, and I'm just going to unstick the thread here. And again, we'll just go right back through the hole next to it, come right back up, use the same hole in the fuel lines here, and we will pop this guy in. I'm betting the fuel lines are not the only problem, but it could be, since the primer bulb was not popping out at all. It could be that there was the fuel filter and the fuel lines were not working, and that certainly would be a big reason. I'm guessing I'm still going to have to replace the carburetor. As you can see too, again, I'm going to get it to about that point right there. Try to use my pliers so I don't yank it too hard. Now I've got it coming through. I'll pull this all the way through, and you don't need a lot on this side. Typically I like to leave just a little bit in there as a return. So once I've got my return in there, pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and clip off about the same length. So this fuel filter is ready to go. So we'll just cut off about right here. And now we'll leave that strung up for our next time. That is probably long enough to be the next run when I do that again. We'll take this gas tank. Now we're going to hook it up to our string trimmer, and we'll see if replacing just the fuel tank was enough for this job, or if it's going to need a full carb replacement. Carb replacement is very easy too. We're going to go ahead and remove our gas tank here, and I'll go ahead and remove the fuel lines first. I'm going to go ahead and remove my fuel lines. I'm going to loosen the gas cap, so if I pull it off, it doesn't have a vacuum there and it won't start shooting gas everywhere. This is the draw, so I try to remove the draw first so I can pump the gas back in and it won't keep sucking. These fuel lines have definitely seen better days. As you can see, that popped off and tore in half, so I definitely know that was a problem. The fuel lines themselves were pretty bad. I'm squirting out what I can. On the return, it doesn't seem to be actioning anything, so we'll just pull this other fuel line off here. You can see that one just tore in two, and that one did too. So these fuel lines are deteriorated and corroded, so that was definitely a problem. Any gas sitting there that long probably impacted the carburetor as well, but we're going to leave it on, and we're just going to swap the gas tank. So now we're going to use our impact wrench just to remove this gas tank. We're going to tighten our top again. T25 coming off. I like to put these screws somewhere I can easily find them so that I don't have to chase them around later. Once I've got it off, I'm going to transfer the gas since we're going to need gas in the other unit for our gas from point A to point B. Sometimes that cap can get in the way a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and take our top. So we'll put that top on. And a lot of times I like to go ahead and hook up the gas line before I assemble everything. Since I've got a good look at it right here, I'm just applying this. And then the question is going to be whether our carb bulb starts priming immediately, and then we'll know we're probably in a much better place. If it works, if the gas lines are good, because then the carb will work. Could be the primer bulb too, but I don't think the primer bulb was the issue here. I think it was gas lines deteriorated and kind of folded in on themselves. And we'll know in a second here. In fact, before I even bolt him on, we'll see if he primes. He is priming now. So our bet is simply replacing the gas lines got us where we needed to be. You can see how my gas lines are a little too long for this unit. That's okay for my purposes, but I could certainly cut them down, and now would be a good time to do that while I've got access to everything. But I'm okay with letting them have a little extra play. So go ahead and now put our bolts in. This is one of the more common fixes. People let their gas string trimmers sit there and then they don't use them for a couple of seasons and those lines deteriorate. Okay, so now our bet is this guy's gonna work. We think the primer bulb is looking pretty good there. We're gonna go ahead and wipe him down. If this works, we're in good shape. So let's just see how he runs now. Prime him a little bit more. Got plenty of gas in there. The carb could need a cleaning or its replacement. Much closer to running, but still not there. We can try a little bit of carb spray. We're gonna open them up, spray a little carb cleaner in there. Maybe other problems on this guy, but I think that's probably the most likely culprit. And let's crank him again. Showed you how to replace the lines. Next up will be the carburetor. And I'm sure I'm getting spark. I don't like messing with the spark ignition coils because when you pull these things off, they can be tedious and sometimes they cause bigger problems when they come off. So we'll swap the carb. That carb certainly being in there for a long time with bad fuel lines. Probably not what we're going for. All right, folks, I hope this video helped you replace your fuel lines. If it worked for you, let me know. It did not finish the job for me, so I'm gonna have to replace the carburetor. If you wanna see the next video on whether or not the carburetor change works, and carburetor change is very easy once you've done the fuel line, so we're gonna do that right up next. All right, folks, before we move on to our next video where we're replacing the carb, I am gonna go ahead and swap out the fuel lines on this guy. Since this guy was a problem, in this case, we got some gas. We're gonna let that get out of there. And we do have couple pieces inside. Reach in here, get this guy if I can reach him. So just in case you're trying to follow along and you're still working on replacing your fuel lines, this may help you. I like to help folks out whenever I can. Get that piece out of there. These curved pliers can be a big help in this job. And there he is. I think I can get that with regular pliers. Had one of these little metal coupling pieces, and that's the interior. So now that we've got the unit clean, again, I like to take off the spring. Save that. Sometimes they can be quite the beast to get off after years of sitting in a fuel tank. That part's out. And I'm going to use my pliers to wiggle this guy off there. Okay, so now we got the spring off. And the fuel filter can be recycled or trashed. If you remember, we still have this piece right here. And we're going to use a fresh fuel filter on it. Got our fresh fuel line here. And we're gonna go ahead and disconnect our metal thing here, and we'll go ahead and put our fuel filter on. Again, I'm using the same tubing, just the other part of it. So I force them on there, kind of screw them in. Okay. I'm trying to grind them on there a little bit more. Pretty close, and so good to go there. I'm gonna take my spring, run them over the top here. Just make sure you don't do this on the wrong end. It can always be a pain if you do it incorrectly. So now that spring is holding things in place. Fuel filter is ready to go. If you remember again what we did before, we're going to run it far side, first hole, come up with our little tool here. And you can do it without the tool, like I said, but it's heck of a lot easier with this tool to pull, because whenever I've tried, this stuff is hard to get through without this specific kind of tool. There are other ways to do it. You could use a variety of different household items. I'm sure somebody will leave some things in the comments for other things you can use as a puller, but without this, I don't like doing it. So we're gonna go ahead and get our plastic through. This hose has been pretty strong, especially for this part where I pull it through. I'm actually impressed how much I've been able to get through there. I don't want to pull too much on this guy because I didn't have too much slack left. So I'm gonna leave the slack right there, or push him in, feed him down the line, and hope he goes where he's supposed to go. I'm gonna push him down with the screwdriver. There we go. Now our fuel filter's down toward the bottom, and so that one has been restrung. Good to go there. Since I don't have any more to use on this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and grab another piece of Tygon tubing. That works for return. Okay, since I'm working with a fresh piece of tubing here, I'm gonna use the same process I used before. We're gonna cut a notch at an angle. If you wanna see how this cut is made, basically cutting it at an angle like so. There we go. And it gives me a nice little point. And then with that point, I take my metal punch here, pop a little hole in him. You can actually force it through with these metal things, but I like to give me a pretty good runway here. So I punch through, put something through, pay close attention where your hole is. That's where we're gonna go with our metal puller. Metal puller goes through, just like we did before. We'll go from the outside in, and our metal puller comes out. Now we put our tubing here. There we go. Punched all the way through. Don't pull too hard when you're doing that. You will tear the whole tubing and you'll have to do it again. There we go. Our tube line is out. We'll pull just a little bit. And in this case, I'm going to save this for the next time I have to do one of these. So I'm going to pull them out as far as I can go. About right there for return fuel line. Feels pretty good. We'll keep this for the next time I need to return fuel line. I'll just leave it strung up already ready to go, so I don't have to deal with that next time. So these fuel lines should be roughly equal. There we go. I'll clip the line off of this. There we go. And then this fuel tank is ready to go. All right, folks, hope this video helped you out in putting fresh lines into your fuel tank. If it did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, here are a couple more YouTube things you might like. Thanks again for watching.